Welcome to the Homeschool High School podcast, brought to you by Seven Sisters Homeschool.com and the Ultimate Homeschool Podcast Network. I'm Vicki, and I am so excited to meet a new young friend. So this is Gabrielle Barrale, and she is an academic advisor for online kind of things at the University of Valley Forge, which, for those of you guys who know, we are in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania area, so I'm always excited to hear about local schools. So today we are going to talk about a really useful topic, which is dual enrollment. So how does dual enrollment work? But first, Gabrielle, say hi, and I want to know about how you got connected to University of Valley Forge, and what is your story?
Yeah, so my name is Gabrielle Barrale. So I do academic advising here at Valley Forge for online programs, which Vicki explained. And my connection to Valley Forge is pretty long-standing. It's actually a university I heard about my whole life because my parents attended here. So this is where they met. So I've heard a lot of stories about the school growing up. And then there's been a lot of people in ministry. I grew up in a missionary family, so we knew alum who've graduated from here, gone into ministry, had long careers in that. So that's how I've learned about Valley Forge. And then I actually studied at Regent University down in Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Did my undergrad, master's, and postgrad there, all in one go, so to say. And I worked in enrollment management at the university and enjoyed that. I enjoyed the academic side of things. I like helping students to succeed and encouraging them, helping them to find little tips and tricks. When I was in college, I wanted to see how I could graduate early and save money. And so I was able to take CLEP exams and just having that experience of, if you do this, you can save this much money and you can graduate early. I think it's such a great tool to have, and if you can take advantage of it, why not?
Yeah.
And you're still earning the credit, so it's not like you're cheating your education. You're just showing what you've already earned. So, I talked to my academic advisor in college, and he said, yeah, you can go for it. You can do it. You can graduate in August, so you'll be done the August after your junior year. And so just being able to do that type of thing now for people is really nice, and just being there to help them succeed. So I saw the position open up after I'd worked at Regent University for almost 4 academic years. I was there doing my master's and postgrad, and then was in Delaware for a little bit over the pandemic years in the Wilmington area. And then I saw the position here at the University of Valley Forge for academic advising, and that's how I wound up here.
That's fabulous. And we met at the Delaware Homeschool Conference. It was so nice to meet you there and to hear about what's going on at the University of Valley Forge. But we want to talk about, how does dual enrollment work? So you gave a little clue there, is that it is one way to save money on a college education. And college education is not cheap these days. And so this is a really good idea to be thinking about. So could you explain dual enrollment for parents who are new to this?
Yeah, so dual enrollment, a lot of colleges, even community colleges, offer dual enrollment, and it all depends on your curriculum, what you're doing, but it can either be, I'll backtrack a little bit. So high school students can start taking college classes while they're in high school, and it can either be that it's just kind of like AP, but instead of taking a big exam at the end where everything really is dependent on that exam, you're taking a course, it's the full semester length, they're doing assignments throughout the semester. Everything isn't determined by one exam. And so, especially if you have a student who exams just aren't their strong suit, it's a really nice option. And it's also a good way to kind of lower the stress threshold, but still really do a good job of achieving college level credits. A lot of schools, they will do the general requirement courses. So you'll take your math, your English, history, science, psychology. That way they're transferable to any major really that you're looking to do. And then the added benefit is that schools can count the college credit for the high school curriculum too. So it's a double duty. You can get high school credit and college credit for one class. So
We
Yeah.
love the two for the effort of one, for sure. Yes.
Yes, and with
Yeah.
homeschooling, it works really well because you have a lot of oversight of the curriculum, so you can get it to work for both. And then our program, it's fully online, it's asynchronous, so students can fit it into their normal schedule of school. They don't have to worry about, oh, on Tuesdays I always have to be on for a class at from 2 to 4. It's as long as you're doing your assignment and meeting the due dates.
Mhm.
That's the real time restraint. So it's also a good way to prep students for college level work so they can learn to manage their time. Um, yeah. So,
Yeah, that's us just on a rabbit trail. That is a good way for students to practice time management because
mhm,
those who are college bound, once they go to college, mom is not there nagging them to stay
right.
on task. And so if they start learning the rhythms of managing a college class, and asynchronous is good for that
Mhm,
because they are pacing themselves, but they are responsible for the deadlines
mhm.
of the class. So yeah, that's a rabbit trail. That's a side benefit.
But
So
yeah.
what dual enrollment gives our high schoolers is for those who are interested, they can take their English class, their math class, psychology, you mentioned. So there's several different
History,
things
government.
to do. And they're getting college credit and high school credit at the same time.
Mhm,
And so for teens that want to go ahead and get life started, cut down their years in college, um, just want to have a new adventure.
mhm.
It's a thing to think about. So let's talk about the University of Valley Forge's program because it's asynchronous and it's all online. So students are not limited to commuting to campus
Not
there.
at all. Yeah, they can do
Yeah.
it from home. You can fit it into your normal homeschool routine, which is really helpful. And we also have an academic advisor who is dedicated to the students. So she checks in on the students. If anyone's missing assignments, she kind of follows up and is like, okay, notice some things are missing, what's going on. So that's also a nice transition to have someone checking in on the student.
That's a
Um,
plus there.
yeah, and so for University of Valley Forge, we allow high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors to take courses with us.
Mhm.
So sophomore students, they're allowed to take one course per semester, and then juniors and seniors can take 2 courses per semester. We also have summer courses so that if you're a sophomore, um, you would start your fall semester of your sophomore year, and then you could take classes the following summer and the summer between the junior and senior year. So, in total, a student could complete up to 30 credits of dual enrollment with us, which is equivalent to your freshman year of college. So, you're skipping paying for housing and food for your whole freshman year of college, and then our credits are only $75 per credit hour, so it's greatly reduced. It's we also have payment plans, so um, it's something where it's a very affordable way to get college credits in. And for us, if a student completes 12 credits or more with us in dual enrollment and then decides to come to campus for college, they can receive up to an additional $2,000 scholarship. So it's about 500 per year. So there's benefits upon benefits.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's a good segue. A minor rabbit trail here. Tell us about University of Valley Forge. So for those of us that have been in the area of Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, most of us are taking our kids up to Valley Forge for history
Yeah.
field trips, but not to the campus of University of Valley Forge. So tell us about the college.
Yeah, so we're a private Christian university. We're right in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, about 15-minute drive from the national park. And it's been around for a long time. The history, it used to be a military hospital during the World Wars. And
Really?
then we kind of took over the property. And so you'll see the buildings have kind of a military feel to them. But we started off as a Bible college, and now we're a full university. We have degrees in business, we have psychology, education, sport management, a lot of ministry degrees. We also have master's degrees. So we have Master of Business Administration, Master of Organizational Leadership, several education masters, and then theology and leadership masters. So we also have a 4+1 program, which I like to point out because we have had people do dual enrollment and then a 4+1 program. And 4+1 means 4 years of undergrad plus 1 year of grad to get your undergrad and master's degree. So it's like dual enrollment, but at the master's level. So you start taking graduate courses in undergrad, and then after your senior year, you'll have usually around 12 credits done of your master's, and then just have 1 more year left of your master's. So if you do dual enrollment and 4+1, you can have your master's by the time you're about 21, which is crazy.
Yes.
Um,
Well, and for teens who know what they want,
mhm,
to go ahead and start earning those dual enrollment credits in high school, go into a 4+1 program so that they are very, very intentional as they
mhm,
get through. And then they're ready to go do their adult callings in life.
mhm,
So, and as a side note, having been through my master's program in counseling,
mhm.
Liberty University 100 years ago. The long time ago. Anyway, that's the student loans at undergrad and graduate school can add up. So when you're chipping off a year or two on both levels of college education, that really helps over the years on
It
what the
does.
budget looks like. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
something else about the university is it's very small and close knit. So if you walk around campus, people know each other. You can smile at people, talk with people. It's also an environment where I know after the pandemic, a lot of students have just craved having friendships and relationships and belonging. And
Mhm.
the students here really feel that. We have so the dorms, they all have small groups that they're a part of. They have small group leaders. There's a lot of activities on campus, but we've even had the students really care about each other so much that we've even had students say, "Oh, you know what? I like maybe you could have spoken nicer to this person," and they're kind of watching each other's backs. Not that anyone is unkind, but
Right.
they
Yeah.
just really care about each other. And I think that's huge. Discipleship is a big part of the university. We have chapel several times a week that students must go to. And then all of our classes are taught through a Christian worldview. So it's very conservative. And we want to teach, a big thing we teach is just abiding. So learning how to spend time with Jesus, grow in your walk with him. And so that is a big part of the culture too. So that's nice to know. We have to sign off on a student standard statement. Just it's like a community covenant that we're not a party school at all. We've actually received negative reviews that there's no Greek life.
Oh, oh, oh.
So it's a very warm, loving community, and the students are so involved in ministry and caring for each other. It's nice.
Well, that is a beautiful thing, and I think that's one of the valuable things that a college tour can show you
Mhm,
is when you walk across the campus and you see students greeting each other
mhm,
or greeting faculty and faculty smiling back.
mhm.
It lets you know that's a college that is not there just as a degree churn. It
No.
is a college that's creating a culture and teaching our young people to be part of a culture. So,
Mhm,
and to have that grounded in the faith, that just adds another layer of the things that are valuable to us. So,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. All right. So, all right. Say again now the courses that are available. Let's say you have a sophomore. That sophomore says, "I want to try a college course,"
Mhm.
and you go like, "Well, let's look at University of Valley Forge and do one of their asynchronous courses." So, for a sophomore, what would you suggest that they look at?
So we do like to talk with the student, find out what their goals are, and then also see what they're looking to take. So we have had students say, I really need my English course. Can I take it with you? I'll need 2 semesters. So we'll kind of work with them. We have, we're test optional, so we don't require the SAT or the ACT. But if
Mhm,
a student doesn't have that, then we do have them take a placement exam. We'll send them a study guide beforehand so they know what to expect.
mhm,
And then that allows us to know if they're ready to take a college level English or if they could benefit from another course kind of before that.
mhm.
But if they are ready, they can take English. It's college writing and research, which is just a great way to start learning academic writing.
Yes.
And then For history, we have several different U.S. history courses, such as Reconstruction to the Present. So this, I can read off the courses we're offering in the summer. And then in the fall, we have others. So we have the English, College Writing and Research, History, Reconstruction to Present. For math, we have Quantitative Reasoning. And science, we have General Biology. We also offer some Bible courses. So if someone knows they're going to a Christian university, then they can take that. If they're planning on going to a state school, then we'll help them take courses that will transfer. So we have New Testament survey, Old Testament survey, and Intro to World Religions. And then we are a part of the Assemblies of God. So we have Intro to the History and Theology of the Assemblies of God. And then this summer, we also have Intro to Psychology and Lifespan Human Development. So those are our 2 psych courses. Yeah. And then we also have Health and Nutrition. That's a 1 credit course. So if someone is really wanting to test the waters, but they don't want to commit to a full 3 credit course, they can take the 1 credit Nutrition and Health. It's $75 for the whole course. And so it's a great way to kind of get your gym credit in and also get a feel for college. We use Canvas. That's the we use. Yeah, it's very user-friendly. It breaks everything down into modules. So the student knows I'll be in the week 1 module, week 2 module. They just click through it all. So even the health and nutrition course is set up that way. So it's a good intro course where kind of the stakes are lower because it's 1 credit, but you still get it. Yeah.
Really gives them an introduction to what a college level course is like. Okay. All right. So I bet there are some teens who are curious about this and might like to test the water. So if a parent and a teen wanted to sign up for an asynchronous dual enrollment course, what would they do?
Yeah, so we have on our website, it's just valleyforge.edu. And then in the top right corner, there's a red apply button. And then we have a dual enrollment application there. They fill it out. It's basically your name, some personal information, like your address, date of birth, so that we make sure we have the right person if there are 2 John Smiths. And then when they want to start, and then we also, for high school sophomores, we require a 3.0 cumulative high school GPA. So we will need that transcript. We also have a homeschool page on our website with the sample transcript in case you're looking to see what would a college want on a transcript. So we have a template for you there. And then for the sophomores, we also require 1 letter of recommendation. So it can be if they're in extracurricular activities, it can be a coach, or it could be one of the other co-op teachers, just so it's another letter of reference saying, yes, we think they'll succeed in this, because we want to make sure that our students are set up for success. And then for our high school juniors and seniors, the GPA is a 2.5. That's what we require. And then we just need the application and the transcript. So application and transcript for everyone. If you're a sophomore, a letter of reference too.
That is not too hard. Yep.
No.
Not too hard at all. All right. One more time. Give contact information for if you want anybody to contact you with questions or the university.
Yeah. So there's kind of 2 contacts. There's me, and so I'm Gabrielle Barrale. And you can email me at gmbarrale, that's GMBARRALE, at valleyforge.edu. And then we also have Marissa Meenan, and she is our dedicated academic advisor for our dual enrollment students. And her name is Marissa, it's Marissa, and then Meenan, Meenan, and her email is MLMEENAN at valleyforge.edu. But if you're on our dual enrollment page, it's just valleyforge.edu. You can click onto admissions and tuition and then click dual enrollment, and we'll have contact information up there as well. And we have some, like a breakout of benefits and the classes we're offering in the summer and the fall. So you can kind of do some research, take a look, and the contact information's at the bottom.
That's fabulous. And we'll have links in the show notes to all of these things. So thank you, Gabrielle. Any other things you want to mention before we have to sign off?
Just if you have any questions, feel free to ask us, even if you're just trying to get a handle of dual enrollment and you're not sure if you want to do it or where you want to do it. We can just talk you through some of your questions. And we also try to work with students if they are sure of what they want to study, so that, if they want to study education, we make sure they take the right science course for the education majors and things like that. So
Yeah.
basically, if you have a question, ask us and we'll do our best to help set your student up for success.
Awesome. That's awesome. So we've got some good resources here, homeschool parents. All right. Well, this has been the Homeschool High School podcast, brought to you by Seven Sisters Homeschool.com and the Ultimate Homeschool Podcast Network. Thank you, Gabrielle, for being with us. And thank you to Seth Tillman for editing. And we will see everyone next week.